Hi everyone, Michelle Fixit here. Today we're going to be working on comprehensive curriculum of basic skills. And this is for grade 5. Everything you need to know, everything you need for 5th grade success, math, reading comprehension, English, and writing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and flip over to our page. So we are going to start on page 18. And this is from the reading chapter. And so the first thing that we should do is we should put our name at the top of the page. So I'm going to put Michelle Fixit. You guys can put your name at the top of the page. So it says spelling, finding mistakes, directions. Circle the 4 spelling mistakes in each paragraph. Then write the words correctly on the lines below. And here's our first one. Last night, our family went to a nice restaurant. As we were looking at the menus, a waiter walked in from the kitchen, carrying a large tray of food. As he walked by us, he tripped, and the tray went flying. The food flew all over our table and all over us too. So did you notice any words that were misspelled? Take a moment. The first one that I noticed was night. That's not how you spell night. So we're going to circle night. Do you know how to properly spell night? What do you think is the next word? Looking. That's not how you spell looking. Do you know how to spell looking? What's the next word? Kitchen. That's not how you spell kitchen. And do you see any other words? Tripped. So, let's start with night. How do we spell night? Night should be spelled N-I-G-H-T. Night. How do you think we should spell looking? L-O-O-K-I-N-G. Looking. What about kitchen? How do we spell kitchen? K-I-T-C-H-E-N. Kitchen. And what about tripped? T-R-I-P-P-E-D. Tripped. Let's move to the next one. Last week, while my dad was washing the car, our dog, Jack, decided to help. He stuck his nose in the pail of soapy water, and it tipped over and soaked him. As he shook himself off, the water from his fur went all over the car. Look, Dad laughed. Jack is doing his part. So do you see any words that are misspelled? I think decided is misspelled. What other words are misspelled? Pale is misspelled for this. Tipped is misspelled. Laughed is misspelled. So, how do we spell decided? Decided should be spelled D-E-C-I-D-E-D. Decided. How do we spell pale? P-A-I-L. Pale. How do we spell tipped? T-I-P-P-E-D. Tipped. How do we spell laughed? L-A-U-G-H-E-D. Laughed. For our next field trip, my class is going to the zoo. We have been studying about animals in science class. I'm very excited to see the elephants. But my friend Tasha really wants to see the monkeys. She has been to the zoo before, and she says the monkeys are the most fun to watch. So which words do you think are misspelled? Field. What's the next one? Science. Any other words that are sticking out? Excited. And there's one more. What's the last one? Friend. So how do we spell field? Field is spelled F-I-E-L-D. Field. And science. How do we spell science? S-C-I-E-N-C-E. Science. How do we spell excited? E-X-C-I-T-E-D. Excited. How do we spell friend? F-R-I-E-N-D. Friend. It seems the rain will never stop. It has been raining for 7 days now, and the sky is always dark and cloudy. Everyone at school is in a bad mood because we have to stay inside during recess. Will we ever see the sun again? Now, which words are misspelled? Raining is misspelled. Do we have another word that's misspelled? Cloudy. There's another one there. Recess. And sun. So how do we spell raining? We spell raining R-A-I-N-I-N-G. Raining. How do we spell cloudy? C-L-O-U-D-Y. Cloudy. How do we spell recess? R-E-C-E-S-S. Recess. And how do we spell sun? Like the sun in the sky, not a son like a child. S-U-N. Good job. Now we're going to move on to page 19. So we go to the top of the page, and this is still part of the reading section. So we're going to write our name first. All right. And this says spelling, finding mistakes. Directions. Circle the 4 spelling mistakes in each paragraph. Then write the misspelled words correctly on the lines below. So let's start. According to the newspaper, a man came into the store and stood near a clerk. The clerk was stocking the shelves with watches. Then the man suddenly grabbed several watches and raced out of the store. The clerk shouted, "Stop him! He's robbing us!" The police searched for the man, but they still lack a suspect. So why don't you look and see what words you think are misspelled? The first one is stocking. And then we have grabbed. Grabbed is misspelled. Do you see the next one? Robbing. Then the next one is lack. So do you know how to spell stocking? Stocking is spelled S-T-O-C-K-I-N-G. Stocking. Do you know how to spell grabbed? Grabbed is spelled G-R-A-B-B-E-D. Grabbed. Do you know how to spell robbing? R-O-B-B-I-N-G. robbing. Do you know how to spell lack? L-A-C-K. Lack. Let's read the next one. And you can always circle them if you think that they're misspelled. Tony always bragged about the tricks he could do with his skateboard. One day he tried to skate up a ramp and jump over 3 bikes. Well, he landed on the last bike and dented it. The last I saw Tony, he was running down the street. The owner of the bike was chasing him. Oh, goodness. So which words did you think were misspelled? Bragged is misspelled. What other words are misspelled? Dented is misspelled. Running is misspelled. And chasing is misspelled. So do you know how to spell bragged? Bragged is spelled B-R-A-G-G-E-D. Bragged. How do you spell dented? D-E-N-T-E-D. Dented. How do you spell running? R-U-N-N-I-N-G. Running. How do you spell chasing? C-H-A-S-I-N-G. Chasing. So let's move to the next paragraph. Circle the words if you think they're misspelled. One day I was petting my dog when I felt something sticky in his fur. It was time for a bath. I put him in a tub of water and scrubbed as best I could. Then I rinsed the soap out of his fur. He jumped out of the tub, soaking wet, and rolled in some dirt. I sighed and dragged him back into the tub. This dog makes me tired sometimes. So what words do you think are misspelled? Petting. What's the next one? Scrubbed. What's the next one? Rinsed. And what's the last one? Dragged. So, do you know how to spell petting? Petting is spelled P-E-T-T-I-N-G. Petting. Do you know how to spell scrubbed? Scrubbed is spelled S-C-R-U-B-B-E-D. Scrubbed. Do you know how to spell rinsed? R-I-N-S-E-D. Rinsed. Do you know how to spell dragged? D-R-A-G-G-E-D. Dragged. Last night, my little sister started bragging about how fast she could wash the dishes. I told her to prove it. It was my turn to do the dishes. She started flipping the dishes around in the sink, washing them as fast as she could. I noticed she was rinsing only about half of them. Finally, it happened. She dropped a cup on the floor. Dad made me finish the dishes, but at least she did some of them. So which words do you think were misspelled? Bragging, flipping, rinsing, and dropped. So do you know how to spell bragging? Bragging is spelled B-R-A-G-G-I-N-G. Bragging. Do you know how to spell flipping? Flipping is spelled F-L-I-P-P-I-N-G. Flipping. Do you know how to spell rinsing? R-I-N-S-I-N-G. Rinsing. Do you know how to spell dropped? D-R-O-P-P-E-D. Dropped. Good job. Let's move on to page 20. This is still part of the reading chapter, and we first put our name at the top of the page. Okay. This one says spelling, finding mistakes. We have a detective, and he's looking for spelling mistakes. Directions. Circle the spelling mistakes in each paragraph. Write the words correctly on the lines below. So, if you think a word is misspelled, circle it, and then we'll figure out how to spell it. Some poisons that kill insects can also threaten people. Often, these powders and sprays are used on corn, beans, and other plants we eat. Unless these plants are well scrubbed, we may eat a small amount of the poison. That doesn't sound very good. So, which words do you think are misspelled? Poisons. What's the next one? Threaten. What's the next one? Powder. What's the next one? Scrubbed. So how do you think you spell poisons? Poisons is spelled P-O-I-S-O-N-S. Poisons. How do we spell threaten? T-H-R-E-A-T-E-N. Threaten. How do we spell powders? P-O-W-D-E-R-S. Powders. How do we spell scrubbed? S-C-R-U-B-B-E-D. Scrubbed. Let's look at the next one. Sometimes the poison is put into the soil and moves into the plant through its roots. Then it stays in the plant in spite of all our rinsing. All we can do is avoid eating food that has been grown this way. However, that also means we have to expect more insects in our food. It's a hard choice. Some people doubt that a little bit of poison will hurt them, while others have made a decision to grow their own food. So what words do you think are misspelled? Soil, spite. What's the next one? Rinsing. What's the next one? Avoid. What's the next one? However. What's the next one? It's. What's the next one? Choice. What's the next one? Doubt. What's the next one? Poison. And what's the last one? Decision. All right. So do you know how to spell soil? Soil is spelled S-O-I-L. Soil. Do you know how to spell spite? S-P-I-T-E. Spite. Do you know how to spell rinsing? R-I-N-S-I-N-G. Rinsing. Do you know how to spell avoid? A-V-O-I-D. Avoid. Do you know how to spell however? H-O-W-E-V-E-R. However. Do you know how to spell its? I-T apostrophe S. Do you know how to spell choice? C-H-O-I-C-E. Choice. Do you know how to spell doubt? D-O-U-B-T. Doubt. Do you know how to spell poison? P-O-I-S-O-N. Poison. Do you know how to spell decision? D-E-C-I-S-I-O-N. Decision. Don't forget, circle the words if you think that they're spelled incorrectly. Yesterday, the teacher announced a new project. She challenged us to think of a new arrangement for the furniture in the room. We voted to put the chairs in groups. Then Brian said it would be easier to cheat that way. I was annoyed. I told him we had more pride than that. So what words are misspelled? Announced. What's the next one? Project. What's the next one? Challenged. What's the next one? Arrangement. What's the next one? Furniture. What's the next one? Voted. What's the next one? Cheat. What's the next one? Annoyed. What's the next one? Pride. Do you know how to spell announced? A-N-N-O-U-N-C-E-D. Announced. Do you know how to spell project? P-R-O-J-E-C-T. Project. Do you know how to spell challenged? C-H-A-L-L-E-N-G-E-D. Challenged. Do you know how to spell arrangement? A-R-R-A-N-G-E-M-E-N-T. Arrangement. Do you know how to spell furniture? F-U-R-N-I-T-U-R-E. Furniture. Do you know how to spell voted? V-O-T-E-D. Voted. Do you know how to spell cheat? C-H-E-A-T. Cheat. Do you know how to spell annoyed? A-N-N-O-Y-E-D. Annoyed. Do you know how to spell pride? P-R-I-D-E. Good job. You finished page 20.